Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. What can I say that hasn't already been said? Well, this game doesn't always suck. I genuinely like it. Well, to say I like it may be a little bit of a stretch. I guess I like how bad it is. You see, this game has a certain charm that many other Sonic games don't have. Besides, maybe Sonic Adventure games with their voice acting. I mean, come on! Listen and tell me this wasn't the best take they could have taken. I think not.
Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!
But besides, there are many ups and downs, and today I'm here to talk about the earliest of development stuff and see what went wrong here. So as I go into the history, I want to take some time talking more about the game. Now if you didn't know, the game is released in 2006, hence the title named Sonic 06, but in reality the game is called Sonic the Hedgehog. That's right, baby, it's a reboot! Even a pretty decent one at that. I mean, the story is weird with the human-like characters. I mean, they look human, I think. Look at Eggman's design. Just look at it. This game was innovative for having many loading screens in a video game. I think they even won a video game award for that.
Up next, the winner for most loading screens in a video game is Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Come on down, Sonic. What do you have to say?
It wasn't my best game.
Excuse me?
It wasn't our best game.
We better cut to the commercial break.
On a serious note, this game has pretty cool features, but I think the lack of communication in the project kinda ruined it from the start. So yeah, let us talk about the start. Fall of 2004. The project enters development with Yojiro Ogawa working as the director and Yuji Naka as the producer. So yeah, very humble beginnings. Also, the only things being worked on in between were Sonic X and Shadow the Hedgehog, which is crazy because the 4Kids actors were in Sonic X and Shadow, so of course they were casted for this game. Reasoning? They wanted Sonic to sound the same across all media, which is different nowadays. In 2005, on May 18th, the game was announced during a private screening for journalists. In the footage, it shows a chaos demo flash on the screen, then green forest zooming in really fast. A few frame dips or slow motion? I can't tell. Then we see Sonic and he is running away from Eggman robots, and then he ends up at a temple or ruins and destroys them and keeps running, and we get a glimpse of the egg carrier. Then an entire army of Eggman robots are surrounding him and they shoot him and he dies? Oh wait, he also turns to Super Sonic, and we assume the rest. Then on September 16th, Sega launched the official website for the game. So sadly, the only proof we have of the working site is this Japanese version. And on that, it seems that the link pages don't work, which sucks. I really wanted to read the characters and stories and download my movies. Oh well, the Amazon Music page worked, so yeah, the site is archived but not functional. The very next day, on September 17th, the game was demonstrated at TGS. In the footage, it shows a prototype of Kingdom Valley. Also, Sonic's model looked a tad bit different and uses some early animations, seeming to be based on Sonic Adventure. Here are many examples of them, like his running and goal animations. They all have been modified or changed completely. Also, plenty of them are even unused, but I will go over all the unused stuff later on. Back to the gameplay. It seems to be running slower, most likely due to how early in development this still was, and it showed off some day-night cycle, which Sonic here at sunset looks cool, which was ambitious to begin with. I don't know how well this would have worked out, but hey, Sonic 06 walked so Sonic Frontiers could run. Nothing much else goes on in the footage besides Sonic homing, attacking all the robots, and roaming around the level. But as you can see, the springs look more like Sonic Heroes springs, and the goal sound is the same from Adventure and Heroes. Yuji Naka announced the title to the public, while lead game designer Shun Nakamura demonstrated how the game uses the Havoc engine, which came out in 2003 and had so many cool features like ragdoll and destruction in real time. So yeah, seemed pretty neat. Now, sometime between September to November, Sonic Team receives a Wii development kit and realizes that a port of the game can't be done in time for the Wii's launch, which meant the team couldn't get the game done in a year. Yojiro Ogawa left the project to start on the Sonic and the Secret Rings game, leaving directorial duties to Nakamura's hands. There was also a PC port of the game planned, as seen promoted in Sonic Riders instruction manual and the E3 flyer shown here. 2006. In February, the recording of the English dub begins, regardless of the script being finished, so if some lines used sounds weird, that might have been why.
Agent Shadow, E123 Omega has engaged methods. Head to the Wave Ocean, head to Wave Ocean. Agent Shadow, E123 Omega has engaged members. Head to Wave Ocean immediately.
Maybe. Then on March 10th, the script was finished, only taking nearly a month of hiring the voice actors, which again uses the 4Kids dubbed from Shadow the Hedgehog game and Sonic X series. Also, the script got leaked from a UK tester and leaked it to a Sonic fan site. There's also a lot to uncover here, so I will save that later on in this video, but let's say it will be about character changes and whatnot. But yeah, one thing I noticed, it shows the casting calls for the voices. Since this is still early, it shows most of the cast there, besides a few awaiting their lines. Only 6 days later, on March 16th, Yuji Naka resigned from Sega and Sonic Team, going independent and making his own game studio called Probe. And, well, besides his return to a big budget game studio called Square Enix, and made a game called Balan Wonderworld. I don't know if you heard of it. Maybe you have. Anyways, April 14th, Sega relaunches the official website to build anticipation for E3. This includes the reveals of Silver and Elise. Sometime in May, a demo is playable at E3, featuring playable levels for Sonic and Silver. The game is said to be only 40% finished. This demo is later shown at the games convention in Leipzig, Germany. In June, they finally shown off the E3 trailer, which uses a different rendition of his world, which it shows off the gameplay shots played over the music. Also, the town looked more dense with more pedestrians roaming around. I gotta say, I love the end shot with the Iblis monster, but there is more footage. In this, it shows a fast playthrough of Kingdom Valley. The HUD is different. Sonic has an icon for his lives, and the level design seems more oriented to platforming, which the TGS prototype wasn't. Also, the main menu and loading screen is different here too. It has a blue screen with the text overlaid instead of the black loading screen with on-screen tips in the final game, and you can only choose between Sonic or Silver. Each has their own level they play in, even which completing the stage looks different. It says mission completed in big text, then shows your result screen. Instead, in the final game, going straight to the result screen. September 27th, a shorter version of the TGS 06 demo is shown at Microsoft's X06 event and released on Xbox Live Arcade later that day. Only Sonic section is playable though. Then on October 22nd, the Xbox 360 version of the game goes gold, ready to get copies pushed into store. Oh boy, were they too late. On November 14th, the final game is released for the Xbox 360 in North America. 10 days later, the game is released for the Xbox 360 in Europe. Then nearly a month later, on December 21st, the game gets released for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in Japan. January 30th, 2007, the game is released for the PlayStation 3 in North America. This was most likely due to the PS3 being hard to develop for. Also, this game runs like cheese on the console. You'd be lucky if you can get nearly 30 FPS. And yes, I am aware, viewer, that Sonic P06 is on PC, but that is a fan recreation of the game, so it doesn't count. And then finally, on March 23rd, the game is released for the PlayStation 3 in Europe. Let's just say the game got panned for horrible glitches and game-breaking bugs. The game will go down in infamy for being a cringe fest of a game. But I'm not here to drag Sonic through the mud, so now let's discuss some of the early stuff. Here is an early Sonic model. I guess this was just an early concept render, cause look at all the fur. I think the design looks good. By far my most favorite. The detail is insane. You can tell this was going to be a more realistic with the tone. And here comes Silver, looking pretty good. Not as much fur as Sonic. He seems to look like Chrome. That may be because he is from the future. Oh, how we all laughed at you, Squidward. Anyway, this concept seems to be early as of March 17th, 2006, and in the top left, the title says Sonic Next. I guess that was the project name. Also, speaking of Silver, originally his name was going to be Venice, and he was based on Trunks from DBZ. He was going to have an ability to draw from the Chaos Emeralds until they changed his name to Silver and changed his design. Here is his original. He was going to have a bigger brow line and have different boots and have orange chest fur. Here's an early look at Eggman, his Eggmobile, and also a robot design. Also, originally, Princess Elise was named Princess Oliga, named after the the singer Origa. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Please don't bash me for mispronunciation. I'm trying my hardest. But it was changed when acting had begun. Here are some images showing the day and night cycle used in-game. Again, this feature isn't in the retail release. It isn't certain if it was intended to be used or was just shown off for capabilities. There is also some early music. There is Kingdom Valley, which has less flutes and less of a choir. And Crisis City sounds a tad bit different. It seems like the mix is all over the place on the E3 version compared to the retail.
That was good.
Now, so far, that is going to be the end of part 1. Join me back next time for part 2. I will cover more early animations and even strange oddities in Sonic 06. Thank you guys so much for
Almost 900
subscribers. I could not be here without you guys, you know. Thank you all for actually watching, enjoying my content, and actually giving me feedback, which I love so much. So yeah, got links in the bottom of the description, got my Patreon. Give me money, please. I'll see you later in part 2. Bye-bye.